Are you ready to go on a search for the elusive English fern? I'm Dave, and this is Barber Dave Shaves and Such. Greetings and salutations, travelers. As we embark, looking for the English fern, we find ourselves in Dartmoor Park in the Bovey Valley Wood. As we follow a stream, rounding a bend, we find an odd apparition of the surrounding fern. A knight, kneeling and pondering his linen laundry, do we ask? Let our journey of the Imaginarium begin. Hey everybody. Yeah, we're going to do English fern today. Yeah, that intro was kind of goofy, but that's all I could come up with. So anyways, normally I would preload, or normally I would do the loading of the soap on camera, but I'm using the non-tallow version of English fern by Penhaligons, and I'm using a synthetic knot because this stuff can fade fast. I mean, there's a couple of soaps in the world that are a POA. Crabtree and Evelyn is one. And I loaded this for about 2 minutes already, and it's still fading fast. Now, I load this with a very dry brush and then add water as needed. So we'll see what happens. But as I said, the non-tallow version of English fern is hit and miss for me. The tallow version is perfect, but I don't use it very often because that's my last one and there's none left. English fern is gone by way of the dodo, but hopefully that intro kind of puts you in the realm of the Imaginarium Day 5. So this isn't terrible. I'm not going to add any more water right now because I'm afraid that it's going to take a dump and start fading out. So I'm just going to leave it like it is, a little bit thicker than normal for the tallow, but it's got the wonderful scent of English fern. So speaking of that, what are we using today? We're going to do a DE shave today since we're kind of hunting around the moors of England and the wood of England to look for the ferns. I'm going to be using a British Gillette 15 Aristocrat with a Persona blade. Again, the non-tallow version of Penhaligons English fern, and then we'll get into all the other stuff down the road. So I hope everybody's having a good Monday. Today is also my what I call Barber Errand Monday. So got to hit the bank, got to hit the Barber Pro Shop, get fuel for my car, all kinds of errands today before coming home. So that's another reason why I chose a DE shave today. And I've got to be careful because this Aristocrat can be deadly. It's probably the most aggressive razor next to my Blackland Vector, my Blackland Blackbird as far as a DE. But this one is not as forgiving. It's a very heavy razor, as are most Aristocrats. But the 15 has gained almost mystical or mythical proportions. Very hard to come by, and when you do come by them, they're expensive. So it's perfect for the English fern shave. Oh, and for the brush, again, I don't like using a Badger brush with the non-tallow version of Penhaligons, because when I do, you can barely get any lather, and I'm already having issues with this one today. But I'm trying to add water as lightly as possible because it fades away fairly quick. The only reason I keep the non-tallow version around is I've got a lot of it. And it has that wonderful fragrance. For those of you that know me, know that English fern is, if I was going to pick one favorite fragrance across the entire realm, this would be it. I've mentioned this before, and the Persona Lab Blue blades seem to work the best for me. I know other people use feathers, other people use all Astras, Boss Gods, Wizamet, but I found through trial and error that the Persona Lab Blues work the best for me across a multitude of DE razors. Yeah, normally I would have probably chosen my Brian Brown because it's green and it's matchy-matchy, but like I said, I've got kind of a late start today, and I've got a ton of stuff to do, including our show prep for Drinks and Daves, which is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Please join us. But I got to tell you, this one was hard, and I want to thank Mr. Vaughn and some of the other contributors and subscribers, as they kind of gave me some ideas for the next few Imaginarium shaves. This was not terrible today as far as lathering, but I was really careful. Loaded it very heavy but very dry. I mean, it was almost the consistency of paste, and then just added very little water to keep it held together. Oh, and by the way, I'm using a Sorrentino Corleone brush today with an AMAC synthetic. So yeah, it's thin, but it's not that bad. But if you can find English Fern, don't even wait, buy it. Or better yet, tell me and I'll buy it. There is something that I'll be using at the end of this shave that is a rendition of English Fern. It's not exactly close, but it's close enough to where it'll enhance the regular English Fern. But if you can find it, whether it be in the talc, the EDT, or the soap, or if you really want to go with unobtainium, try to find the Penhaligon's aftershave, the English Fern aftershave. I have never been able to find it. I know they made it at one time. Now, a lot of people argue, well, Dave, it's a green fougere. There's tons of them out there. Yes, there are. There are tons of green fougeres out there. In fact, the aftershave I'm going to be using today is Royal Fougere, and it's a good complement to the English Fern, but there's something about English Fern that you cannot find in any other fragrance, that I've found anyway. If anybody knows a dupe that has an aftershave and an EDT, or if any of you soap makers out there want to shoot a shot at it, I'd be willing to send you a small vial of English Fern if you can make a soap and an aftershave and an EDP. I'd be more than happy to discuss that with you. Just doing a little bit of cleanup. As I said, this razor is wonderful. A little bit harsh, but not too bad. Good, easy, quick 3-pass shave. Let's see what the alum says. A little bit of sting, not much. But that's partially because I sped through this Imaginarium shave. So again, for our razor today, we did use the Gillette British Aristocrat number 15. Just a beautiful razor. I've thought about getting it replated, but I'm going to hold off because it's still in original condition. We'll rinse off the alum real quick. And I appreciate all the comments on the Imaginarium shaves. It's been fun. Now I've got a few more ideas, so that helps. But we're still stuck at 1,097, guys. I want to give away some swag. We need 3 subscribers to get to 1,100. So tell your friends, scream it from the top of rooftops. So if you like what you see, please subscribe. The brush for today was the Sorrentino Corleone. It does have a little bit of a green tinge to it, and some purples and stuff like that. English Fern does have, even though it's a green fougere, it does have a little bit of a hint of lavender in it. So for the witch hazel today, we're going to be using Thayer's Lavender. Now here's where we kind of break free of Penhaligon's, and that's in the aftershave. Like I said, Penhaligon's English Fern made an aftershave eons ago. Never got a chance to try it. I've looked for it. And what I found lately is even the EDT is getting scarce. The powder you can still find, the talc, but it's pretty expensive. And then the soap is unobtainium unless you find some, and that's why I don't use the tallow version, because I don't want to use it all up. I know. Well, if you don't use it, you'll always have it, I know. So for our aftershave today, this was done by Asylum Shave Works, Phil over at Bull Goose Shaving, and this was Royal Fougere. It's a much sharper green fougere, very strong alcohol hit. But it's not, like I said, it's sharp, it's abrasive in a good way, but it gives you just a punch of green. In fact, it's nothing, from a fragrance standpoint, it's nothing like the old Polo Green, but as far as pow, hit you in the face, the Royal Fougere does that. But as it dries down, it mellows a little bit and starts to calm down, but it's still too sharp for me as far as a regular daily driver. Unless I am using another strong powerhouse fragrance. So the English Fern is a much softer, creamier, lighter, just a wonderful, wonderful fragrance. Like right now, I'm getting whiffs of it as it's starting to dry down a little bit, and it is mellowing it. But what I do is I will layer the English Fern talc on top of that, and that will kind of mellow it even more, and then prepare for the last 2 things I'm going to do. Wow. I guess it's misty in the Bovie wood today as we search for the English Fern. Wow. Foggy day. I'm going to shoot myself for using this much talc right off the bat because, like I said, this is the last bottle I have. Thankfully, it's full. Like I said, if you can find this, buy it. Don't even pass go. Just pull out your wallet and buy it. Okay, so our first layer of fragrance today is going to be, like I said, my favorite, Penhaligon's English Fern. That's about all I have left, but I still go crazy with it because it's just one of the most awesome fragrances on the planet. Now, what I'm going to do to extend that a little bit is this is an EDT. And this is, I believe this is an EDT as well. But I was searching for English Fern, and I think I mentioned this in one of my other shaves, but it's called Fragrance Revival. And what you do is you send them, they have a list of different ones that they have, and then what you can do is you can tell them what you have. And this, I've got 2 bottles of this English Fern. This one is a little bit more synthetic than the true English Fern. I mean, it's close, but it's not really there. I'll use it because it's close enough to the original that I can get away with it. So, all right, guys, there's day 5 of the Imaginarium. I certainly hope you enjoyed it. I know it was kind of a quick shave, but it gave you an idea of what it's like to look for the elusive English Fern. Appreciate everything. Let's get to 1,100, folks. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Monday, and we'll see you again for the next Imaginarium shave tomorrow. Take care, everybody.